the 8th, 2012. I'm going to bring you some news today. I've got a story here. More U.S. soldiers dying from suicide than combat. Yeah. Suicides are surging among America's troops, averaging nearly one a day this year, fastest pace in a nation's decade of war. 154 suicides for active duty troops in the first 155 days of the year far outdistanced the U.S. forces killed in action in Afghanistan, about 50% more, according to Pentagon statistics obtained by the Associated Press. The numbers reflect a military burden with wartime demands from Iraq and Afghanistan that have taken a greater toll than foreseen a decade ago. The military also is struggling with an increase of sexual assaults, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, and other so-called misbehavior. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. We'll move on to this zombie ammo or whatever they got going on. I'm going to try to be a little bit more still so that the voice recognition and everything will work a little better till we get this thing updated. And I do apologize for any inconveniences of the slowness of the video cam and all. I've been working all day to update and change some stuff, and we'll get it as soon as we can. Alright, let's talk about and break down this article for a minute. Okay, number one, the guys are signing up for, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Spec Ops, whatever it may be, to so-called defend America from the boogeyman terrorists. But in all reality, what's happening is they're going over there and they're killing women and children and men, and they think they're doing it in the name of Uncle Sam and patriotism. But at the same time, what they don't realize until it's too late when they get back is that the effects of that war and whatever stuff they're having to take is taking a toll on them and presenting to them when they come back to try to be in a normal society. They can't handle it, and therefore the suicide spirit comes upon them, and if it's not cast out of them or off of them, they begin to kill themselves because of the horrific stuff that they saw during wartime. I mean, it says right here that suicides are surging among the American troops, nearly one a day this year. And then on the other hand, you have those that are not killing themselves, but they are struggling with sexual assaults, alcohol, and domestic violence, and other stuff. Now, that being said, you see, they're brought back to the states, okay, and they're when they are hired, they're hired in police and other different areas, and see with the behavior that they bring back with them from Iraq and Afghanistan, it brings about what? It brings about nothing but chaos and destruction. Now, let me ask you a question. Sorry for scratching my head here. I had a little itch there. I'm going to bathe tomorrow, Bob, whether I need it or not. I'm going to bathe on the Sabbath. I take a bath once a week whether I need it or not, Bob. Anyway, yeah, absolutely, Agenda 21. You got it. Anyway, the end result is either that they kill themselves, or they commit sexual assaults, or they get into alcohol abuse, which brings about all kind of assaults and everything else. And the domestic violence and other misbehavior. You see, in a war zone, and I've been in the military, I've never seen a war conflict. I've never, okay, but I've been in there, and from studying what I've studied, it is a different world, different paradigm over there, because the fact of the business is, I'll put it to you like this: the mainstream media don't cover it, but pretty much anything goes over there, and there's things that are done that would not normally be done in war. You understand? And listen, on the one hand, I understand that the conflict of war means all is fair in love in war. Okay, but what you have to understand, yeah, absolutely, I agree with that too. Romans 27 says they have they or have they not removed Yahweh from the oaths of the military? Sure they have. Absolutely. And I said yesterday was a great show, 2 hours. Cindy's trying to get it up on over there about the Constitution being a corrupt tree and America being a corrupt tree. Now, let's get back for a minute and talk about the results of what takes place. And this goes back to the Word. It goes back to Deuteronomy. It says, if you do this, 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 and this, you'll be blessed. Do this, 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 and this, you'll be cursed. Although they were in another country, it does not matter. It does not matter to the Father. It doesn't matter if they do it in Bangladesh or they do it in Georgia, wherever they do it. The things that are outside of the will of the Creator brings about those curses to land upon those people that did it. And I'm trying to be as humble as I know how to be here. In other words, see, what we have is this. Okay? What we have is this. We have a flip-flop. In other words, your Congress, your senators, your media are telling you that this is a justified war, or both these wars, Afghanistan and Iraq, are justified wars in order to remove Al-Qaeda, the boogeyman terrorist, from coming and attacking you as an individual. Well, the wars are not righteous in the eyes of the Creator based upon the fact that if they were righteous, and listen to me, if they were righteous and they were doing, listen, if they were doing God's justice, why are they coming back in the shape they're coming back? Because everywhere I read in the book, when they go out and they have the victory and they're in obedience and they perform a righteous war, then blessings fall upon them. Yes or no? Correct or incorrect? I'm correct. Yes. But an unrighteous cause and murder brings about these curses that are exactly taking place. The writer of this article, where it is suicide, sexual assault, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, and many other sins. See? You see what I'm saying? So that being said, now, on the other hand, you've got these preachers and you've got these politicians saying that no, everything is up to the military and the police and the politicians and the preachers to protect you. They have the iron fist that's going to protect you from against all evil. Now, if you were to perform an act to protect yourself or your family or your friends or your possessions from a wicked attacker, then therefore you subject to go before a Roman corrupt Babylonian court system, and you may or may not be found guilty according how the jury feels that day. But at the same time, you see, because exactly what Roman said earlier in the chat room. I don't know how many people's in the chat room, but listen to me. Exactly what Roman said. They have their oath. They take an oath to an Uncle Sam that don't even exist, rather than taking an oath unto Yahweh, the Creator. They take it unto man that is corrupt, and therefore they nullify or remove their allegiance, if there ever was any, to the Creator, and their allegiance becomes Uncle Sam and becomes the commanders of the military, and therefore, guess what? It is up to, you ready? They become the military person's God, the leadership does, whether it be on the civil side or the military side, and their rewards come from Satan. Yeah, and it is killing, stealing, and destroying. And I'm going to read this one more time, and you tell me, is any of this about life? Okay? Suicide. Is that life? No, that's death. The thief cometh not but to kill, steal, and destroy. Okay? Yeshua said, I come that you have life and have it abundantly. Correct? Okay. Tell me, and that screen thing went off. I despise that thing. Come on back. Sorry about that. Sorry, that's a screensaver, video cam, you name it. We just got so many difficult stuff going on this week. I tell you, I'm sick of looking at the computer and trying to fix it. But in any event, we move on with grace. Okay? Suicide. It does not come from the Messiah. You hear me? Listen to me. Sexual assault does not come from the Messiah. Alcohol abuse does not come from the Messiah. Domestic violence and other sin, they call it misbehavior, does not come from the Messiah. It comes from the wicked one and his demons, you see. So, it would be safe for me to say, based on biblical principles, that the results, the fruit, the attributes is, and the rewards is from the wicked one. You see, and that's a sad case. It's a sad case that it is taking place in this arena. You know, there are many good people that sign up for the military in innocence. It's just that they don't know, they do not know what they're getting themselves into, because, guess what? Because of the patriotism that they think that they're going to accomplish and the safety for people walking on the main street of America, when in fact they're sent over there to be pigs to the slaughter. And I'm not calling military people pigs, it's just a term. They're sheep to the slaughter. They come back in this shape. Now, there are many that come back and they get on their knees before the Messiah and they repent, and the Messiah forgives them of everything they've done, and they're cleaner than hospital cotton. That's what we got to pray for our military that are coming back from over there. We got to pray that the chains of suicide will be broken. We got to pray that the chains of sexual assault and alcohol, drug addiction, and domestic violence will be broken from these people, and that they will, in and of themselves, be freed from it. Because those that are not freed from it, like I said, are hired in different places and different areas, and they go about committing the same destruction they did in Iraq and Afghanistan, except on a microcosm level or micro level in America that they did over there. It's just that they're in a different uniform. It's just in a different uniform. So it's a sad case. It's a sad case. Let's move on to, well, I'm going to tie this into this article. I scratched this down on the notebook. But have y'all heard about the International Special Operations Forces Conference in Tampa? Yeah, over 69 countries taking participation in Tampa. Yeah. Yeah, Global Special Forces Network. See now, I mean, this one world government, this Babylonian Roman government, this one world government of evil. Yeah, the conference was in Tampa, and they did a mock drill of right there in the main city of Tampa and on the port there where you come off the water. They acted like they were freeing the mayor from terrorists, and a lot more stuff is in the video. I can't play it now because it'll max out my CPU usage, but I challenge you to go look at it, and I believe I got it off of Blacklisted News, but Global Special Forces Network. And let me see here for just a minute, okay? Let me look on my bookmarks, please, and see if I put it in there. No, I did not, because it's got a, you need to go look it up. Go look at Blacklisted News and see. You see? You understand? 69 different nations participating. And by the way, like I said, if the Constitution weren't evil and it were good, it would never happen, okay? Because, you know, they don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about nothing. All they care about is their wicked scheme being accomplished, and absolutely Romans 27 is right. It's all about prepping the American public to see these uniforms as the good guys. Absolutely, I agree with her 100%. And the fact of the business is, you know, they were, each one of those in charge were given a brief description, yeah, that we got to work globally together. And guess what? They happen to be training in Tampa. Oh yeah. Different airplanes, helicopters, and all these Spec Ops guys that are. One guy had his mask over his face. You could, you know, you could. What you got to hide, brother? You know, you could see his little bandana, camouflage bandana, over his face, and I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. It's soon to come that many nations will come together to bring about and hunt down the saints of the Most High Creator, and they're going